We are here in the great outdoors, and we have our very own shitting log. One day we'll have walls and a roof and a door, but we're not quite there yet.
Morning of day 3. Pretty lazy morning. Slept in, probably got about 10 hours sleep last night. Alright, about to start packing up, heading out. We got a pretty, well, much tougher day than the previous couple days. Got about only, I can't remember, I think it's 11 or 12 kilometers of paddling, but 12 portages to do, totaling close to 6 kilometers total. So they're not all very long, but there's still, it's a lot of in and out of the boat. So we're gonna continue down the Petewawa and then head up the Crow River. So we're starting off day 3. Little 12 portage adventure. Let's do the killdeer portage for the 3rd time in 2 days. First catch of the day, a little fall fish or chub. Just a bigger chub. Move on soon. Nothing but like 4 or 5 chubs so far at the spot. Little baby bass, almost the same size as the lure he tried to bite. So that rocky outcropping there is the second campsite that we've passed up. Killdeer is a small little lake, and straight ahead of us here in the woods there is the portage that goes around the rapids on the left. It's 170 meters to the Petewawa. Alright, the portage was actually a little bit further to the right on the shore. But this dark little spot here is the 170 meter. So technically the first portage of day 3. Got a small paddle before we get to where the Crow meets the Petewawa, and then we start going upriver on the Crow.
Got one. See if I can keep it. Yeah. Nope. Nope. And I lost him. That's my fault.
We're at the spot where the Crow meets the Petewawa. It's just filled with small bass. Pretty much catching them one after the other. These are Blueberry Falls. There's a 140 meter portage to go around them. Fishing Blueberry Falls for a little bit. So far, it's all smallmouth bass that we've been getting, and they're all pretty much the same size. Nothing huge. Still really fun. Yeah, like this is pretty much the biggest one I've caught so far. They've all been much, smaller than this. Doing the portage around Blueberry Falls. It's pretty short, 140 or something like that. There's a campsite in the middle of it, but I remember one year we had reserved it, but it's no good for hammocks at all. It's all rock and at an angle with almost no trees. So this is the campsite here. And that's all of it. Top of the falls, got this beautiful flat rock you can just walk out on. Coming up to another portage on the Crow around these little rapids here. It should be river left, or yeah, river right, I guess technically, but for us left. And it's a 500 meter. So, very slight uphill, nicely cleared, easy to follow trail. Nothing to complain about. Coming up to a little 30 meter portage on the Crow River. See if it's skippable. So I paddled up the first little set, and I'll probably just walk up this set. First trout of the trip on the Crow River. Nice one, too bad it's not. Very nice rookie. Coming up to the 2.5 kilometer portage. It says somewhere around here. Should be on the left hand side. I think there's a bit more water on this side of the island. Let's start walking. So this is the rapids we're going to be portaging around for the next 3.5 kilometers. And there's this little land in the middle, and the portage starts here.
Fuck me. Put my thing around my rod. around my rod.
Your rod's too big?
It's just thin and long. Oh shit, I remember this one. 2.4 is finished. This is where Partridge Creek crosses the portage. So we're going to put our boats down here and have a lunch break. Coming to the end of the 1200. As 1200 goes, it's pretty tough. A lot of uphill. We're on Lavieille Lake. The portages that we have to do is over there. It's a 600. There's a few little streams, rapids coming out. We'll check them out and fish for a little bit. So we just finished the 600 from Lavieille back to the Crow River, and those rapids right there, apparently it's another 40 meter portage right there. So there's the 40 meter we just skipped, and this is 110 meter right after it. So just finished the 110, and the 250 is right there.
This should be the last portage of the day. It's a 60 meter. If I remember correctly though, it's very easy to skip this one. Just go around on the left hand side here. We shall see. We're at our campsite on Mallic Lake. It's one I've stayed at a couple times before. It's got a serious hill you have to come up, but nice and flat up top. Got everything set up. We went swimming for about an hour, and tonight we're just going to rehydrate some spaghetti with some fresh parmesan, and for dessert I've been portaging the late night sizzling cheeseburger Doritos. So we'll give those a try. Packed up and setting off from our campsite on Mallic Lake. We're going this way back up the Crow River. First stop Lavieille. We've got 3 portages. I think some of them are skippable, so we'll see. Got up to our first portage on the left. I think it's around 100 meters. Like I said, I know I've skipped it in the past, but it just depends sort of where the water levels are at.
Okay. And that's as far as they go.
We just passed a portage sign. This little part here is obviously paddleable, but it sounds like there's something up ahead that we might not be able to skip. And it goes on for a little bit more. First fish of the day on the Crow River tiny perch. So we're actually going to do this portage. There's like a little rocky outcropping off to the side, and the portage signs up at the top of the little hill here after this trail. That was our only and last portage to get to Lavieille Lake. So we're in the narrows now. Gonna paddle till we get to the main body. Trolling around Lavieille, and I think I got something on. Not sure now. You know how these deep divers sort of fight you on the way in? I definitely had something at first, but I think it's off. Yeah. Nope.
Oh, it's a fish. Bring the net.
What's that?
Bring the net. It's big. Shit.
Mike's got the first Lavieille fish. We're up north near the beach. There you go. Fuck. Why are you complaining?
I'm not trying to complain. Is he rolling in my line?
Yeah, I hate it when they do that. Nice, big fish.
Son of a... And we're all hooked up.
Alright, we'll get this untangled. Oh, you know what? The other way. The sun. So we're on the beach at the northern side. And here's Mike with his lake trout he just caught. So we're going to fillet this thing up. Have a little beachside fish fillet. Just walked along the beach here for a little bit till I found this nice big boulder. Looks just about perfect to fillet a fish on. So this is our beach lunch spot on Lavieille Lake. We got the fish all filleted up. Got some Cajun fish crisp on it. And we're about to start frying it. It's not a proper fish fry without the seagull visitor. Alright, lunch is done. Rock's all cleaned up. Trout was absolutely incredible. I filleted it. The chef cooked it. And now we're going to go look for a fancy outhouse. So we're at the site that was marked on maps by Jeff as being the former location of a fancy ranger cabin the dignitaries would stay at. So far we have an oil drum and some O'Keefe ale. And on the map it specifically says that one of the only things that's left is a luxurious outhouse. Oh, I see a normal thunderbox. Now that's luxury. Well, perhaps this is the remains of the luxury outhouse.
It has paint on it. I got Ooh, I got a perch. Look at that.
This is the portage to Farncomb Lake. It's just a little lake. It's a little lake we're going to explore on the northern side of Lavieille. Creek here. Big block of solar panels on the other side of the creek too. I assume the rangers have something set up over there.
Doesn't feel like a 300.
That would, yeah. I saw there, it looked like the path might continue through the woods.
Try putting in here, or?
I don't know. So we're working our way through this tight creek. So far, everything's been passable.
Found it.
So follow that shore and into that cove.
Yeah.
2 creeks drain into that cove. Okay, it's probably a good spot.
Sounds good to me.
Into the little northern cove that has the creek that jumps into it from Finch Lake. We're done exploring Farncomb Lake. We went into one of its bays where a couple creeks empty in. And so we're just going to head back out the same way we came, go back to Lavieille Lake, and look for a campsite for the night. And we're back at the portage that goes to Lavieille. So, picked out a campsite on Lavieille. Just got the kitchen shelter up so far, and it's started to rain. So just flip the boats. And we'll wait it out in case it's just a short one before we set up the hammocks. Nature man, once again, one with nature. So we got camp pretty much set up. The sun keeps coming and then it'll trickle rain for a little bit. But in general, it's pretty nice. A little humid actually. We got 2 nice tent pads up here that we're using for hammocks. One of my trees was a little too skinny, so I just had to reinforce it to a tree behind it with a trucker's hitch. Piece of paracord. I've done it a bunch of times before. So yeah, very nice site. So we just broke up camp from Lavieille, from our Lake Lavieille campsite. It was a pretty windy night last night, a couple rain showers, and the mosquitoes have finally come out in full force, making it feel like a proper end of July trip. And yeah, they're pretty bad today. So we're going down, continuing going upriver on the Crow. We're going to Big Crow today. We're just coming to the end of Crow Bay, about to start the Crow River, which we're going to be on all day long. We've got 7 portages on the Crow River today, and like I said, we're staying on the Big Crow Lake at the end of it. I stayed at that campsite on the left here once when me and Mark were coming the other way on the Crow River, and it was raining so hard that we actually had to bail out our boats twice and flip them upside down once to get rid of all the water. And we had to stay at that campsite because Mark was getting borderline hypothermia. No, buddy. We're going around. He's just leading us away. Got to the first portage on the Crow River, 110 meters. We'll go see if it's worth just pulling the boats up or if we actually do it. We're gonna walk it. It's gonna be a real scrape fest, actually. Yeah. Yeah, like there's yeah. I would just portage it. A feature of the Crow River are these really crappy, bouldery put-ins and takeouts. This portage is 210 meters. Going around another bouldery little stream. Coming up to 160 meter. This is the third of 4 portages that are all bunched together. Coming up to the last little portage of this section. It's a 390 meter. So at the end of that 390 portage, now we've got a lot of just windy Crow River. I'm assuming for over an hour. Looks like about, I don't know, maybe 10 kilometers of windy river. Maybe a little less until the next portage. So probably have some snacks and maybe lunch at the next portage. Got a little creek here that drains into the Crow River, into a nice little deep section. I've been getting a few nibbles, but haven't hooked one yet. Success. Little brookie on the Crow River. Slightly bigger one this time. Cool. Well, you got Mike. Is that a trout? Yeah, it looks like it. Mike's got one too.
I got a little one, perch.
Mike, is that a trout? It's got one too.
It's gone. Oh yeah, nice.
Beautiful fish. Oops. I'm guessing up this hill is the campsite on the Crow River. I don't see a sign, but sure looks like people go up and down it. So I guess I was wrong. A few bends later is the actual campsite. Water levels are pretty good because we've barely had to walk at all on the river this time. Portage, the 1200 meter portage is right here. So on this Crow River portage, they just have a sign reminding you for the fish tracking study. If you catch a fish that's been tagged, to release it. And yeah, that's about it. To not remove the tags. This portage, I remember being pretty smooth, pretty flat, basically wide open, very easy 1200 meter, but I also remember being extremely buggy. So we shall see. The portage was pretty much like I remembered, very easy for us 1200s ago, except there weren't any bugs, but it could just be because I didn't stop at all. They didn't catch up to me or whatever, but yeah, no bugs at all. Coming up to the 150 meter portage in the Part River. I'm assuming this is the beginning of the last portage on the Crow River. It's a 230 meter. So I think I was wrong. I don't think this is the portage. This time we're at the portage for real. An actual sign has been seen. So it's a 230 meter. So Mike wants to skip it. What we can see here looks really easy, but we can't see, well, I assume we can't see the full length of the rapid. Alright, we'll see if we turn the corner what it looks like. Walked up the first section. There's a little flat section in the middle that we're paddling. And it looks like there's another section to walk up ahead. All right, Mike's got a couple perch in this little mid-portage hole that we found. My first catch in this little hole that we found, just a little chub. So it looks like the last obstacle is going to be this big beaver dam up ahead. So this is the end of the portage we're skipping. So we're just gonna probably take our bags out of the boats and just pull them over the top. Yeah, I think that's, oh yeah, or we could just go back onto land. All right, no big deal. So yeah, this skipping of portage was definitely not worthwhile, but it's fun. We have to, all these logs that we have to keep sort of going one over the other, There's a little campsite here on the right hand side, which probably leads to the portage trail, but it's full of blowdowns. It looks just as hard as this. So, and we're through.
I think if this works, we use it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty awesome for us not to take it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here comes the thunder.
I just saw some crazy light.
Impressive noise.
Very good timing. Raining harder. Wow. It doesn't even look real.
So the thunderstorm pretty much forced us to take the first site we got to, and there was a massive downpour afterwards. The site's actually quite nice, except for the fact it would be really dark if it was a sunny day, but obviously today that doesn't matter. A lot of stuff's on an angle, but we're in hammocks, so we don't care about that. We have one really nice big flat spot for the kitchen shelter, and we got our hammocks in the back of the trees, and everything we own is completely soaked. So we're filtering some water, gonna get supper ready and get into dry clothes.
this is what the tent looks like. The bug shelter, rather.